As Mashoud's asked, that very pertinent question about did Jesus die on the cross? There's a historical perspective. Already the context has been said and set in our discussions about, what a odd situation here. Here was a person who was suddenly being, asked to die himself to atone for the sins of mankind. The cross, what it represented, what happened, clearly Pontius Pilate tried under the laws of the time and created this guilt on which Jesus was subsequently punished and then put on the cross. But perhaps you can talk us through some of the events at that time, and also with biblical evidence as well as to what was actually said about Jesus going on the cross and what surrounded those circumstances.
Well, the Christians, of course, believe that Jesus was put on the cross, as has been described.
And he died.
And that he actually died on the cross. So this is what the Christian viewpoint is. But of course, we know from our Ahmadiyya viewpoint, or the Islamic viewpoint, is that we do not believe that Jesus died on the cross. There are many angles that we can look at this question. First of all, of course, is biblical reference.
That go to brother right there. This is back in the day. He was up there like, yo, it's the meal right there.
As to what is the position of one who dies on the cross, and what did Jesus himself and his disciples understand by death on the cross. And if we read from the Bible, we know that he who dies on the cross dies an accursed death. So this is the starting point. Jesus is a prophet of God, as we know, was a sinless person. And we do not believe that a just God could put someone to die on the cross for some crime that has been committed by somebody else. So from that angle alone, we know that God is just, and that this is not the subject of atonement cannot be answered from that question. So Jesus and his disciples, obviously knowing that death on the cross was accursed, was not looking forward to being put on the cross.
Indeed, it said that Jesus actually begged
absolutely
for this cup of death to be passed
to be removed from him. If Jesus knew that this was the design of God, that he would be put on the cross and that he would die on the cross, that the sacrifice was something that was required of him, then of course, being a prophet of God and a righteous man, he would have willingly laid down his life for this great purpose. In contrast, I always see the sacrifice of Hazrat Ishmael in comparison to that when he was asked to lay down his life, as Hazrat Ibrahim alayhi salam has said, I have seen in a dream that I am slaughtering you. He did not go away crying and said, oh my God, oh my father, what are you doing? I cannot let you sacrifice me. But he was willing, because he was a prophet of God, he was willing in that respect, thinking that this was God's design. So in Jesus' case also, we should have seen the willingness of Jesus to, yes, take me onto the cross. This is my fate. This is what God has designed me for. This is my purpose. But he doesn't do that. He cries and prays the whole night long.
Shout out to the channel Al Islam. I can go check that out.
In the Garden of Gethsemane. And he said, Ale, ale, ma sabachthani. Why have you forsaken me? Why am I going to be put on the cross? Knowing that if I die on the cross, the Jews are going to know that this was, Nauzubillah, a false man. And the Christians also, or his disciples will also come to think of that. So this is the basis of the argument, or one of the arguments is that Jesus did not want to be put on the cross because he knew that this was not God's design, and therefore he prayed all night long, remove this cup from me, and his prayer was indeed heard. And he was saved from death on the cross, and he was taken down alive from the death on the cross.